What's going on, traders? Sandra O'Connell. Just wanted to create a short video and talk about the position that I have on in Blade and sort of my outlook into the earnings print. They report earnings after the bell on Monday the 17th. So that is tomorrow. Um, so you can see this is the structure that I currently have on for Blade. I'm long some August 21st 7.5 strike calls for 69 cents. And Blade originally came public via SPAC. The SPAC was originally EXPC. And Blade, they're an urban air mobility company. They're essentially like an Uber, but for helicopters. And really, they want to expand into eVTOLs as well. Um, so yeah, Blade, had a really nice run when it was a SPAC. And then, similar to a lot of these other companies that are SPACs, this one really took a turn for the worst, I must say. So take a look at this. So yeah, EXPC, this was the original SPAC ticker. You can still find it in FinViz. So yeah, this thing went all the way up to $20. It looks like, like 1990. And yeah, it's come down quite a bit. So at this point, I've taken a pretty deep dive through like the investor docs, just to like get a feel for like, what's going on with this earnings print. Because Blade, is trading well under 10. It's trading for $7.07 now. So I just put together, from the investor deck, really quick, just like how cheap is this company? So I put together this little like template. So this is, based on the SPAC price of 10. They have $375 million of cash on the books that they got from the SPAC deal. And then, the enterprise value of $450 million, which gives you your market cap of $825 million. But keep in mind, this thing is now trading well below $10 a share. It's trading for $7.07 right now. So that gives it a market cap of $583 million and change. I ended up putting my calls on this candle right here, and I got a pretty good trade location where I bought those calls when I believe EXPC was trading around like 650 or 655. So coming into the print, I bought the calls. This thing went from about $6.55 to $7.07. So as of right now, these calls, they're marking at around 80 cents. Which isn't bad because I picked these up for 69 cents. But heading into the print, here is, what I'm looking at. So Blade, they're projecting certain revenues out for the next few years. So these are their projections. They originally projected $25 million in revenue for 2020. 2020, they've already reported that. They actually came in at $26 million. But as you can see here, looking at these projections, Blade is, they're projecting they're going to make it all the way up to $402 million in revenue by 2024. The way that I see this is so long as Blade continues to execute and they're hitting these revenue projections, which they're not like super aggressive or anything like that. Like the CEO, he's not like some huckster or whatever. But yeah, if they continue to hit these numbers, then I think this 707 is way too cheap and the stock will have to re-rate higher. So far for 2021, they are projecting 52 million in revenue. They already recorded Q1 because they do like different fiscal quarters where like technically Q4 of 2020 was their, fiscal Q1 of 2021. On Monday, they're going to be reporting their Q2 results. As of right now, the way this thing is priced, it's priced as if Blade is not going to execute on any of these goals. The revenue is going to come in really light. The earnings are going to be light. And, this thing's pretty much just left for dead. Because if you think about it, this market cap is $583 million. The company has $375 million on the books of just cash. So their actual, like, business is really being valued, for essentially like nothing. So I have here these revenue multiples, which are, okay, if Blade hits these cash numbers, these revenue projections, what is it going to be trading at in terms of a revenue multiple? So you can see right now, Blade is currently trading for, based on the current price, 22.4 times 2020 revenue. So it's actually pretty reasonable if you have a speculative business, trading at around 20 times sales. That's certainly not like, oh my gosh, this thing's a steal. It's only at 20 times sales. I would say that's pretty reasonable for a lot of these high growth names. But if Blade can execute, and for 2021 they actually get this 52 million in revenue, you can see how this valuation continues to move further and further down. If they can get to their 2024 target, currently they're trading at 1.5 times their 2024 sales. So yeah, I pretty much just included, a couple of these boxes here where once they report that Q2 number, that'll give me more of an indication as to how are they doing on that 2021 estimate. If they report earnings and they go, hey, we're going to raise our guidance, we actually think we're going to do more than 52 million, then this thing, will most likely re-rate. So heading into this earnings print, I feel that there is some asymmetric upside, just given how beaten up this thing is. The market cap is so low. I don't think this is on most investors' radar. So we'll see. It's one of those where the market's pricing in a big miss. So even if they miss, what's this thing going to do? Go down to like $3.75 and just be worth the amount of cash they have on the books? So I like the setup here heading into the print. Pretty pumped just to see what happens. If this thing were to re-rate back to around like $10, for my calls, that would be like a triple or a quadruple or something. So yeah, it's really just the setup I'm seeing. Looking forward to just, getting that earnings report. I'll probably listen in on the earnings call as well. But just wanted to share that and kind of like what I'm looking at into the print.